go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times.
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie, and today I have 8 all-new winter DIYs for you using supplies from the Dollar Tree. My theme today was kind of neutral winter, lots of white, lots of snow, lots of wood, kind of a neutral decor that would go with just about anything and perfect for winter, and you can leave it up all year long. Okay, the first DIY is kind of a two-part DIY. First, we're going to use 2 of these little signs from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to make a tray. The second part, we're going to make a really beautiful vase arrangement for winter. Now, they have these, I know, in white, maybe black, and this wood color. I'm choosing the wood color because it kind of matches what's on the sides, and it's going to go with that warm stained wood finish that I'm going with today. But most of the top of the sign is going to be covered in snow anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter which ones you're going to get. But I just went ahead and glued them end to end. I just used hot glue. I'm going to have a couple other things that's going to kind of combine it together there. So I'm not really going to brace it or anything like that. I think it'll be okay. I just made sure to get it good and lined up and to glue it flat. Now I wanted to do like a border around the edge of the tray, and I love using these little cube wood beads from the Dollar Tree for that, just because they're going to sit flat when you go to do like a beaded edge. So it's going to take 2 strands of these. You could always do them with the round ones too if that's all you had, but I really like the look of the cube. So I usually try to use those if I can. And I want to stain them. They are natural wood. So I'm just going to take some Antique Wax by Waverly and a baby wipe, and then I'm just going to kind of try to stain these. I was trying to think if I should leave them all attached. I usually do when I'm working with a project like this, but one thing I noticed is when I went to stain them like this, they are like a cube shape, right? It's not really getting in between them where it kind of goes down on the sides, kind of like a dice shape. So I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to leave them all attached, but I just went ahead. I'm going to stain all 4 sides of our cubes like this. And the reason that I'm using a baby wipe is I don't want it to be a really dark stain. Sometimes Antique Wax by Waverly can get pretty dark. I'm kind of going for the same finish wood that tray is that we're going to make. So I just go ahead and stain them all this way. I do try a different technique on the second one, but this way was actually the easiest way to do it. So I went ahead and took them all off the string because I did realize, that they're not getting stained on the sides or in all the little corners this thing has. So I'm just going to have to go in with a baby wipe and little messy, but use some Antique Wax by Waverly and we can stain all of them. I was trying to avoid doing them one by one like this, but you know what? It does work the best. And I'm going to line all 4 sides of that tray with these little cube wood beads, and it turned out really cute. Just a matter of getting all these little guys stained. So I just go in and do both sides. They are kind of have holes in them, but if you get them all going the same way, you're not really going to see that except for a few pieces on the ends. So that's our first strand. And then I was thinking, I know when you're painting wood beads, it's sometimes easier just to put it in a cup or a bowl and just dip them all in there, right? So I was like, you know what? That'd probably be easier than I wouldn't have to go in with a baby wipe on each one of the little cubes. So I took a little water and some Antique Wax by Waverly, and I just going to grab all of those beads and pop them in there. What I noticed is it didn't really stain it as dark as I needed to. And then you're going to have really wet beads that you do have to kind of let dry. When you're using the baby wipe, you're really not getting them that wet. They dry really quickly. So even though I added more Antique Wax by Waverly a couple times, I really just couldn't get them stained as good this way. It must be because I had to add some water to that. but I tried that method. It didn't really work out as well as I'd hoped. But I'm just going to kind of take them all out now, drain them on a paper towel. And you can see, I mean, they did stain a little bit. They're just not going to quite match the ones that I've already done. If I hadn't already done the other half, I probably would have kind of left them like this. But I was like, you know what? They're going to require a little bit more stain. So that was my first attempt. And they did, again, get really wet, where I did have to wait because they didn't really want to glue down or anything like that. So I just went back to my old tried and true method. I put some more Antique Wax by Waverly on a baby wipe and just went in and stained each one of those a little bit darker, just so they're going to match the other set of wood beads. And 2 strands was the perfect size for this tray, using 2 of those signs. I think I ended up with 2 wood beads left over in the end. So I've got them all stained. They're all fairly the same finish now, so we can start putting this together. Now, since I did take them off the string, I am going to have to kind of glue them on individually. I did think about stringing them back together for this part because it is easier when they're tied together. I've made projects similar to this where I've made the wood beads like be in the middle of trays and stuff like that. And it's so easy to string them and glue them when they're tied together. But I was like, you know, I'll just do like half a sign at a time and do some hot glue and just lay them all on there. That way I can kind of space them out. And I'm going to have one be right there at the border between the 2 different signs. And that will kind of help hold it together a tiny bit. And glue these all the way over to the side. I did have to space them out a little bit just to make sure that they all fit, but we got one side done, and that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and start here on the other side, and I'm just going to repeat that same pattern, the same number of them, and just gluing a little bit at a time, trying to make sure that my hot glue was not setting up before I got them all covered. And I wanted to do just like a woodsy tray for this, and I couldn't really find anything that I wanted. So if you can't find it, you can just DIY it. So we have 2 edges done. And even though you see like that joint in there in the middle, once you get things on your tray, you're not going to be able to see that. And it actually just turned out really cute. For the sides, I went ahead and laid them out in advance so I know exactly how many would fit. And that was a total of 6. And so I'm just going to glue down 6 to each side, trying to kind of evenly space them. And again, I have like all of the holes like facing each other, kind of like they were still like lined up, so that all the pretty sides are the ones that you can see. Now, once I got those all glued on, I'm just going to go ahead and flip our tray over and just remove the tags here on the bottom. I thought since we have some leftover wood beads and they're cube shape, they'd make perfect little feet for this tray. At first, I wasn't going to do feet for it, but I'm glad that I did because this did kind of like perch it up a little bit and just made a perfect winter display for the vases that we're getting ready to do. So I'm just going to hot glue one in each corner right over here. Not quite all the way to the edge, but pretty close. And I'm going to do the same thing here on the other side. And then since I have 2 signs together, I thought it'd be a good idea and extra sturdy to put a foot in the middle on the front and the back too. And that'll be another little thing helping to hold that all together. But it seems like it's pretty sturdy. I don't think I have anything to worry about. And there's our little tray. I think it turned out so cute. I'm not going to do any handles or anything on the side. I don't think it really needs anything. And then these are the vases that I got. They're little frosted bottles with corks. And I picked these up at Dollar Tree. I thought these were really cool. If you can't find them, you can frost your own glass. And we are going to be doing that today because I think it looks extra wintry having the frosted glass. And so if you can't find them, it's pretty easy to kind of recreate these. But they're a nice small size bottle. I'm not really going to need the corks on them. But I thought 3 of them would be really pretty on this tray. We could line them all up right next to each other and then put some Dollar Tree florals inside to make it look nice and wintry. Isn't that texture really cool? So let's go ahead and get started on these. I was thinking I can just kind of glue them all down or push them all down into like snow or something like that in the tray. And I want to be able to reuse the tray. So I'm just going to kind of put them all in the snow. And then this is the eucalyptus that I got at Dollar Tree. I got a total of 5. I really wanted 6, but I could only find 5. So we're going to make it work, even though I have 3 of the vases. So I thought I could do like one entire piece in each one, and then we'll kind of break up the other ones and kind of split them around. Now for the filler here in our little frosted jars, I'm just going to use some Dollar Tree white sand. I think that makes a great sand or snow substitute. I'm completely out of the Dollar Tree snow. And so I was trying to find other things to make snow with today, and I found some really great things to do that with. So I already had some here in a baggie from a previous DIY. So I found these little craft funnels at the Dollar Tree, and I use them all the time for sand and projects like this. But you can always just cut a corner off the bag like I did there and pretty much do the same thing, but it does make keeping your work surface a little bit cleaner. And I'm just going to fill each one of the vases up about a third of the way. I didn't want to take too much away from the frosting. I wanted you to be able to see that, but I wanted enough of the sand that I could use it to arrange the flowers in, or the eucalyptus. So I lined them all up side by side so we could kind of keep the amount of sand even on those. And then we can go ahead and start taking the tags off of all this sparkly eucalyptus. I love these. They have these every year at Dollar Tree. They're white. They have glitter on them. I think they look really nice and icy for winter. And they're just about the perfect height. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm trying to pick out my very best ones to be the main piece in each one. And then the other ones we can kind of cut up and fill in. So that's what it looks like with one. You probably could get away with one if you needed to. And I'm just using my little floral scissors from the Dollar Tree and trimming these all down as long as I can get them. And I probably could have done with a little bit more sand in my jars, but we're going to make it work. So I just start taking them individually and kind of filling them in. These pieces are going to be a little bit shorter, just going to kind of help fill everything out. And I kind of compare them to each other, and I'm trying to create about the same fullness in each one of the vases. And I end up using every single one of them. And I love these. Aren't these so pretty? They're definitely one of my favorite florals they have for winter time at the Dollar Tree. Now that looks pretty good. We can go ahead and start putting the little tray together. I wanted to like kind of just stack them side by side in there, but I also want it to look snowy and wintry, so that's why we're also going to add some faux snow. Now, I thought about gluing them down, but then I wanted to reuse the tray, so I decided just to sit them all in there, just like that. But I wanted to sit them in there first before I added the snow. That way they're nice and flat against the bottom of the tray. Now, I had heard that Epsom salt makes great snow, so I just have some Epsom salt that I stole from the medicine cabinet, and we're going to use that for DIYs today, and this made fabulous snow. I loved it. So I just put a little cup in my Epsom salt there so I can kind of scoop it out, pour it in the tray exactly where I wanted, and I'm just going to fill up the entire tray with the Epsom salt for our faux snow. That way I have the contrast of like that stained wood against the white snow. We're going to have the frosted vases that are going to look like they're very cold. And then the icy white glittery eucalyptus looks like it's covered in ice. Then I thought I kind of wanted to add like a snowflake touch. So I got some ornaments from the Dollar Tree. One is a 2-pack, one is a 10-pack. Now they're about the same size. I guess the 2-packs are like a little bit better quality, but I want my snowflakes to be different, so I'm going to mix and match. I'm going to use one of the 2-pack and 2 of the 10-pack. And I thought I could do one of the little white glitter snowflakes for each one of the vases. I was trying to decide if I should tie it onto the bottle. And then I decided I would just tack them with glue onto the sides of the bottle. This one ornament, the one that came in the 2-pack, does have a hole. So I did want to fill that in, and it was actually pretty easy. I just put a little hot glue and some extra Epsom salt in there. and it filled up really nicely. The other two snowflakes didn't really have an obvious hole that I needed to fill, so that was a little bit of a time saver. And they're pretty lightweight little ornaments from the Dollar Tree, so I'm just going to do a little hot glue right in the center and then just tack them onto the side of our frosted glass. And I'm really glad that I decided to add the snowflakes to this because it took it from like pretty to like wow pretty, and quite a statement piece for winter. And I love this because I can leave it up all winter, because it's always so sad when you take down all your Christmas decorations and you still want like some winter decor. So I just did that on all three of them, just glued them to the front, and this is how it turned out. Our little winter vases with the white glitter eucalyptus. We have little white glitter snowflakes on the front of each one, and a bed of Epsom salt snow on a DIY tray. Isn't that tray so cute? I thought it looked very like rustic or farmhouse, and I really had fun putting that one together. If you're enjoying today's video, be sure to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it, and don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. Okay, let's do another Dollar Tree winter DIY. This one's going to be a Dollar Tree sign, and we're going to kind of do that same theme of white, glitter, wood, and stuff like that. So the wood round from the Dollar Tree, I'm just going to stain it the same finish that we stained the wood beads. I'm just going to do Antique Wax by Waverly, not too much, and then just spread that out with a baby wipe to give me that nice medium stain. And you can see that beautiful wood grain coming out of the wood. So easy to do, and just very rustic and charming. I'm not going to frame it or border it or anything like that because the snowflake we're going to put on the front of it is nice and thick, so together it really made a nice piece. So it did kind of want to bow a little bit though because it was really wet and it's really thin. I can kind of fix that when I add the snowflakes, but I did go ahead and just put something heavy on it to help flatten that out. Now the snowflake is made out of MDF, and I'm just going to go ahead and fill the hanger hole in it with some spackle, and then we can start painting this. Now, probably the easiest way to paint this would be like with white spray paint because it's thick and there's lots of like holes, as you can see, and pattern going on here. But it was pouring rain and I did have to go outside and do some spray painting in this episode, and it was a battle. But I'm just going to do it with white acrylic, and I just kind of work in one direction, and I was using my chunky brush from the Dollar Tree, and those are great for distressing, not so great for a project like this. I found that I kept just losing like bristles out of my brush. That's so frustrating. But I was trying to get as good a coverage as I can. The MDF I find a little bit harder to paint than like the raw wood projects. It's going to soak up your paint and take more. So that's how it looked after one coat. And I'm going in with a second coat. I don't mind if some of the brown shows through a little bit to kind of give it a distressed feel to the snowflake. But I want it to be mostly white if I can get it white. The trouble with this project was just all the little places where, you know, the white could drip, the white paint. And I don't really mind it being kind of distressed on the sides. I just didn't want any obvious like drips anywhere where you're going to be able to see it. And as you can see, I did have to go in even with a third coat to get good coverage. That's why I was saying spray paint might be easier. But you know what? I don't know if I've ever spray painted an MDF project. It would probably work. Now, this is the next item. I wanted my white glitter and I couldn't find it, so I went to the store to get white glitter, and of course they didn't have any. But Dollar General had some of this iridescent glitter paint, and so I thought I might as well try it because they were completely out of glitter. And so I went all over it with a coat of it. It did make it a little bit glittery, a little bit sparkly, but you're just not getting very much bang for your buck in there. So I did have to go over with another coat, trying to spread it all over to try to make it glisten as much as I could get it, and I still wasn't happy with that, so I went over it with another one, and I'll probably find my white glitter. That's the only color I couldn't find, you know, as soon as I'm done with this project, of course. Then I decided I kind of wanted some texture to my snowflake too, to make it look like it was covered in snow. So I'm just going to paint some school glue all over the front of it and then go in with some of the Dollar Tree white sand again, this time to kind of give it a texture of like snow. I really want this to kind of be a special snowflake we're going to add to the sign. So I'm just going to kind of sprinkle the white sand all over my school glue. And I did like that that kind of gave me the texture that I was missing from not having like, you know, real powdered glitter. But then it wasn't very sparkly, so I did go over that with another coat of my iridescent glitter. This stuff was only $1 at Dollar General. It worked okay. I wish it could be a little bit more sparkly. That we're gonna make it work. But I think I'm happy with it at this point, so we can start putting this together. I'm just going to use some twine from the Dollar Tree and make my own hanger. Just kind of string it from the back, knot it in the front, and do the same thing here on the other side. And, you know, these wood rounds aren't my favorite because they're thin, but whenever you kind of layer signs like this from the Dollar Tree together, you can definitely make a more substantial sign, and that's what we're going to do. It ended up being plenty thick in the end. I kind of want it to be like straight up and down on there like that. And it's just a matter of gluing it on. I just put hot glue on all of like the straight lines going across and try to get it on there as fast as I can before any of my hot glue starts to set up. And as you can see, it fits on there just perfectly. So you have that nice rustic stained wood background. We have a white glittery textured snowflake on the front, and it turned out pretty special. Now, a lot of times I like to do like a bow or something on the plain hanger, but I didn't really want to go frilly, so I decided to use a little bit more of the snow greenery from the Dollar Tree. I picked up 2 of these little pieces, and I thought I could have one go down each side of the handle, but I do want it to look snowy because, you know, that's our snowy winter theme today. So I'm going to take some of that white acrylic and the chunky brush, and I'm just going to dust my leaves to kind of give it that little bit more of a snowy feel. It's really easy to kind of flock stuff with just white paint. You can get a very similar look. And once I got those on there, it's just a matter of attaching those to the little hanger. And I'm glad I added this because it did add a fun little touch. So I just cut down a couple pieces of twine. That way I can tie it on each side. I just went from the back and at first I thought there was a hole in them, but there really isn't. I'm just going to tie them tight and then go around to the back, tie them again. And then I'm going to do the same thing here on the other side. And this did add a little bit of fun to the hanger and just give another little texture and touch to this project. Once I got them on there, I kind of tied them to each other just again to make it a little bit stable, get that V shape on my hanger, and then just trim off the excess jute twine. And we have another winter DIY complete. I think this one turned out really pretty. I would have preferred the glitter, but we did get some shimmer with that iridescent glitter, and I do like the texture that the white sand added to it. As you can see in this picture, that just the sand really added just so much detail, but by having all that texture on that, it just kind of made it extra special, I think. So what do you guys think about my little snowflake sign DIY? Be sure to let me know your favorite DIY in the comments below. It really does help my videos, and I love hearing from you guys. Okay, the next DIY, you guys know I love these wood slice signs from the Dollar Tree. I usually never use them as signs. I usually make stuff with them, and that's what we're going to do today. So I'm just using my pliers and carefully removing the hanger. You got to be real careful with those little staples on the sides. Sometimes they will take the bark off, so you got to be really gentle. And I thought we could make this like oval shape into a little candle holder that we could make like a winter theme. So I'm going to use some of the Dollar Tree wood stems to make like 4 little legs. And we're going to do like a frosted candle, frosted reindeer kind of thing. And it turned out so cute. Now it's just a matter of finding, 4 of the wood stems that are the same height and aren't too big. I kind of wanted more skinny because this was kind of a skinny tray, but I was able to find 4 that I think are going to work. So I'm just going to attach those to the bottom of my wood slice with a little dot of hot glue on each one. And we have a cute little rustic candle holder. Now I did notice that it wasn't super level, so to kind of get around that, I just put a dot of hot glue on the bottom of one of the legs. That wasn't quite as long as the other ones like I thought, and I'm gonna let that dry, and that kind of helped the tippy problem. Now this is a little clear acrylic reindeer from Dollar Tree, and I thought I would take some of the frosted glass spray paint by Rust-Oleum, and I will link that in my Amazon shop. I think you can get it at Walmart as well. I'll try to link that. And I had to go read online to see if I could use that on acrylic, and it said that you could because I couldn't really read anything besides glass on the bottle. But I'm going to go ahead and frost the reindeer and frost the candle to make these look extra, wintry. I think that's going to give a nice frozen feel. So let's do the reindeer first. This one was a little bit of a challenge because not only was it pouring down rain outside, it was also blowing wind. But I decided to get the reindeer like downwind, and I'm on my porch trying not to get rained on, and I was able to get it, but just barely. Now let's go ahead and take the candle, the glass candle. It's already white, but I thought it would look really pretty too if we frosted it as well. And it'd make it coordinate well with the reindeer, so I took it outside and gave that a spray as well. The glue is set up on this. It's a little bit more stable now. I think it's going to work. I want it to be as stable as I can since I'm putting a candle on it. I don't really want it to be that light wood though, so I'm going to give it a light stain as well using some antique wax by Waverly and a baby wipe. And we're going to stain this too. I want to kind of get a medium wood vibe on this as well. As you can see, it was really sucking up the antique wax by Waverly stain though, so I did have to do quite a bit of wiping and drying to kind of get this a little bit more even. But I wanted any areas that don't have snow on them to kind of look that rustic wood color, not the light color that was on the top of it. Just another detail to kind of make all these projects coordinate well together. Now I had to kind of hurry on these, so I'm going to go ahead and speed it up a little bit here with my heat gun, but I was really impressed. When you're spraying it on, you can't really see the frosted as much as you can after, but as you can see, just one coat of that frost on there really made a big impact. Now when I was doing the candle holder, I had a huge gust of wind come in and it fell over, so I kind of messed up one side of it. But you know what? We're going to make it work with a little bit of crafting. So I just take some school glue and I'm going to just put that all along the edges of my candle, and we're going to make it look like we got snow or like icicles coming down, and just kind of rim it like you do like a margarita in salt. I put that right into my Epsom salt and just kind of push that around. I do have the faux snow coming down the one side where I kind of damaged it a little bit, and we totally made it work, and you have no idea. Besides the fact that I told you guys. And I think that looks really well, and it's a frosted candle, and then it's got the snow on it. I think that makes it look super wintry. So I'm going to start by just putting some hot glue on the bottom of each one of the reindeer hooves so I can kind of glue that on so that really kind of stays in place. I don't really want to glue down the candle though, because I want to be able to replace that. Those are the little Dollar Tree candles, and a votive's not going to last super long. I just take my school glue and I cover about 2/3 of the base of it with that, and then I'm just going to go in there with the Epsom salt again, and we're going to make this look like kind of like wet snow on the ground. And I found the combination of the school glue and the Epsom salt and then some of this spray adhesive from the Dollar Tree really made it look slushy and snowy. And then I can just go ahead and lay my snowy candle right on top of the little snowbank. And this looks so wintry and fun. Here is the little frosted reindeer. We have the frosted candle with the snow all over it. And then we even have some snow still on the ground of our little wood slice candle holder. I love crafting with those. We're going to use another one of those a little later on. And let's show it all lit up. I love a cozy candle for winter. Nothing better. And the great thing about this is it kind of lights up the little frosted reindeer next to it. It looks so wintry and fun. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick moment out of today's video and let you know about my private Facebook group. I always have it linked below. You'll find out when I post new videos and get to see what everyone's been making. And I also have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest, and my handle is Crafty Beach on YouTube. Okay, back to the DIYs. I got this great wood sign at the Dollar Tree Plus for $3, and I thought we could make a really fun Hello Winter sign using some letters from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use the little galvanized metal letters for hello. Just because they're smaller, I wanted a little variety. And then I'm going to use their larger wood letters for winter. So to do the hello, I don't really want it to be galvanized metal. That's not really going to go with the vibe today. So I'm just going to take a couple pieces of painter's tape and just kind of sit those on there so that we can paint and stain those. Now, as you can see, I did not have another E for winter, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix that. I'm going to put a couple letters together. I did want the hello to be white first, so I have some white spray paint, so I'm going to go outside and give that a quick spray, because sometimes the galvanized metal letters can be a little hard to paint, so I thought if I spray painted it first, that would help, and it actually really did. Now, these are our wood letters spelling out winter. I love these. You get a whole alphabet in the package at Dollar Tree, but I always run out of vowels. And so I'm going to take this F, trim it up, and then take a Z, which I'm not going to use very often, cut the little piece off of that. Then we can put them together like that, and we're going to have an E. And you know what? You can't even tell. So that's one way. I wish they would kind of sell vowels, though, because I have so many of these, and I did not have one E. Then I'm going to stain it that medium wood color, by using just a little bit of Antique Wax by Waverly and kind of wipe that to the side with a baby wipe to kind of give me that medium wood stain. I want it to look very rustic up against the white sign. And I like those signs from Dollar Tree Plus because they're a nice pallet sign. They're already painted white. They have a hanger, so it's kind of a time saver even though they're a little bit more expensive. And I went ahead and did that with all of my letters there, spelling out the word winter. I also want the word hello to look like wood too, so we're going to try that as well. And again, this was $3, the little sign from the Dollar Tree, and it's already white, so it's perfect. We can just go ahead and start attaching our letters. I'm going to go ahead and do the wood ones first. They're fairly large. I think it's going to take up pretty much the entire center row to spell out winter. And I just kind of start on one side. When I laid them out earlier, it looked like it was going to pretty much take the whole space. So I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue on the back and then just try to space them out the best that I can, trying to keep them like kind of equal distance apart from each other. And I thought about, I was going to like break out my Cricut or something like that to do the word hello. And then I remembered that I had the smaller galvanized letter. So I just wanted a little variety between the two different letters. And this is how I make my F and E. It was actually pretty easy. And I'm just going to kind of make that look like, the grain of the wood. See, you can't even tell. And R. So I want to do hello on the top, winter in the middle, and then we could do snowflakes everywhere else. Now this is the one that I painted white, so now I can go in with that Antique Wax by Waverly and just drag that across the white. It's going to give me a faux wood grain. I don't want to work with it too much because I don't want to scrape any of the paint off the metal letters, but it actually worked pretty well. It's not exactly the same as, it's staining the wood ones, but it's close enough. So I'm going to carefully just start peeling those off my painter's tape, and then we can go ahead and glue those on. They are kind of tiny, so just a little tiny bit of hot glue on the back of these, trying not to use too much that you're going to be able to see it when I put it on there, and I don't really want it all oozing out like that. And I just kind of lined it up to the left like I did winter, but of course these are a lot smaller, so it's only going to fill up part of the board. And I'm going to do that all the way across, trying to clean up any excess hot glue as I go. And we do finally have our Christmas tree up. As many of you guys know, my husband got sick on Thanksgiving, and he gave it to me and my son, and I was so sick. I am finally feeling human. My son is home from college. I was so excited. He helped me get in the attic. We got the Christmas tree up. We have it lit. So we're halfway there, and I'm so excited. And I've got my Christmas decorations all out and up, and it really feels like Christmas. So fun. Now for the snowflakes. The only thing I could really find small enough to fit were these little wooden snowflakes from the Dollar Tree. And I thought we could kind of scatter those around on the sign, kind of like filling it up, kind of make it look like it is snowing. Kind of thought maybe up, down, like especially there on the bottom. And I thought about staining them too, to kind of make them have like that wood stain like Hello has in winter. But since they're snowflakes, I really wanted them to be like white and snowy. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of give them the same finish that we did on a snowflake earlier. So I'm just using a little makeup sponge from Dollar Tree and some white acrylic paint. These things are so easy to paint. I really wish that they were different snowflakes, but that's okay. We're going to make them work. They're just the right size. And then once I got them all dry, I'm going to go in with some of that iridescent glitter like we did before, so we can make these little snowflakes sparkle. And it was just a matter of not getting too much in like the little holes here in the middle. The Cricut Weeder came in handy for that, but I'm going to go ahead and do that on all of them, make them as sparkly as I can for winter. And this is the only kind of snow, that we allow down here in Florida, is my faux snow. I got my snowflakes. We're going to add some faux snow to the sign. We don't do the real stuff here where I live. And I'm very thankful for that. We are traveling to the Midwest for Christmas, though. But unfortunately, the weather is going to be too warm. So no chance of seeing snow. My son really thought that we would have a white Christmas. And I'm like, in Missouri, white Christmases are not that common. I am growing up there. I mean, I think we used to get maybe a little bit more than they get anymore, but it just doesn't seem to happen too often. And so I just kind of hot glue those, kind of stagger those on the bottom of the sign. And then for the top, my camera died, but all you missed was I just put a little bit of the school glue up here in the corner. And then I took some Epsom salt and sprinkled that on top. Then I sprayed it with some more of the glue and a little bit more Epsom salt. And as you can see, it's kind of like dripping down on the corner, like just a glob of snow is stuck to the sign, kind of like you would have in winter. So I'm going to give that a quick dry with my heat gun to make sure everything's going to stay in place. And I'm going to kind of touch it up. This one area here, I thought it needed just a little bit more. And again, the school glue works great for the Epsom salt. Even though you think it's like a big coarse thing to attach to a sign like this, it was actually really easy to attach. And that kind of gave me a winter vibe to the top of our Hello Winter sign. We have the snowflakes on the bottom, and I think this turned out really rustic and cute. So here it is, our little Hello Winter sign. Another fun winter Dollar Tree DIY for you today. I had so much white paint on my hands after all of these projects, but I really am glad that I went with the white, the wood, the neutral colors. This is going to go great with my coastal decor. I can really use it in any room of my house, and it's going to make everything look so cozy and warm for winter with all these fun DIYs. Isn't that so cute? Okay, the next DIY, I got this glass at the Dollar Tree. Look at these beautiful, like, white, glittery, frosted snowflakes on it. I thought I could make this into something besides just a glass. So I'm just going to peel the sticker off the bottom. And I thought I could make it look like a small, candle holder. And I kind of wanted a wood base for it to make it a little bit more substantial. So I got one of the chunky wood circle hanging decor from the Crafter Square at Dollar Tree. And I thought that would make the perfect base for it. Since it's round, it's just about the right size. And I'm going to give it that same stain that I've been giving everything else. So just adding a little bit of Antique Wax by Waverly and a baby wipe, and we can kind of stain this on here. I know it does have a hole in it, but we're going to be adding lots of stuff to this anyway, so we're going to be able to cover that up. And you will be able to see the sides of this, so I'm going to go ahead and stain that with the Antique Wax by Waverly and my baby wipe all the way around, just kind of spreading that around. You're not going to be able to see the bottom, so I'm not really going to do that. But I thought we could make a really easy winter candle with this using some of those little emergency candles from the Dollar Tree. I love those. They're white and they burn for 6 hours. They're really pretty. And I got that all dried out. Now we can go ahead and start putting this little candle holder together. Now I wanted to stay put since it is going to have a candle on it. So I'm going to put hot glue around the base of the glass and then just kind of center that on the little wood riser that we made for it. I kind of used a lot of hot glue because I really kind of wanted to make this stick as well as I could. I don't want it tipping over, and that's one reason I'm adding the base is to make it a little bit more strong. And then I'm going to kind of cover the base of it with a little bit of snow too to go with the wood. So I just kind of go around with some of the school glue, and I can kind of spread that around with just a paintbrush to kind of give a snowy base to this. Some of the wood will show through and you'll still have the wood on the side, but I wanted to use the Epsom salt to kind of make it look like a slushy, snowy pile around the candle. And that's also going to cover up the little hole that we had in the little wood ring. And I'm just going to go in with a little bit of the spray glue to make sure it's down and sprinkle a little bit more snow around it to make it a little bit crunchier and thicker. And out of anything that I've tried, the faux snow from the Dollar Tree and Target Dollar Spot and stuff like that, the Epsom salt definitely has made the best snow out of anything that I've ever tried. It's perfect. Now we can go ahead and put it together. I thought, while I don't have anything in it, let's go ahead and frost the top of it too to make it extra wintry. So I just took some more school glue and a paintbrush and I just went all around the edges just like that. And then we can go ahead and dip that in the Epsom salt like we did before, kind of like you're, rimming a margarita. Just kind of circle it into the salt and look at that. Made it extra frosty and cool, but you definitely have to do it now before you start putting this together. Now to fill it up, I'm just using some more of the white sand from Dollar Tree. I don't want to fill it too full, just long enough to hold a candle, but not really cover up that beautiful snowflake design. And then this is one of the little emergency candles from the Dollar Tree. And I just stick that little white candle down in the white sand. And we have a super easy little winter candle. I think it's so cute. This is how it looks. We have like the snow around the rim. The snowflakes are all like white glittery. You have like the snowy feel of the white sand. And then you have that snowy base with the Epsom salt. So lots of snow going on here, but also a little bit of warmth from the wood. So let's go ahead and light this candle up too and see how it looks. And it's really beautiful. It lights up that beautiful like snowflake design. Look how pretty that turned out. So easy, just from a Dollar Tree glass. Hey guys, I wanted to let you know that I've introduced memberships here on my channel. For $4.99 a month, you're going to get early ad-free access to my video. And it's a quick, easy way for you to support me here on YouTube. All you have to do is hit the join button under this video. Okay, next DIY. You guys know I'm obsessed with these little light up glass bottles they have at Dollar Tree right now. Every time I see them in the clear, I try to pick them up because they're fantastic. They have a cork that has the battery inside and it has like the LED lights. Isn't that so cool? So I thought we can make this look simple and wintry by just adding a few touches. Now, I don't normally mind the color of the cork, but today we were going for white and snowy. So I thought, you know what, we could probably paint it. So I thought the least invasive way to do it would just be to spray it with some white spray paint. And I'm going to take it outside and give it a quick spray. I just covered up the lights themselves with some masking tape so they wouldn't get any paint on them, and just gave it one coat of white just to kind of brighten that part of the DIY up a little bit. And it didn't seem to interfere with the switch or the battery or anything like that. That's what I was afraid of for painting it. But I think we can make that work. Now I wanted to look like a little winter tree inside, and I found this like winter greenery at Dollar Tree that kind of looks like, I think it looks like trees with like snow stuck to them, which is what I'm kind of going for. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut one of these off to form a little tree. And it's a little bit longer than I need, but I can always kind of shorten this to size. And this is the glass bottle. You guys have seen me in a couple different videos use these already. I love them. And I'm going to fill it up with some white sand again using my funnel. I'm only going to do it deep enough for me to be able to put the base of my like tree in, so it'll look like a little snowy tree in snow. So about a third of the way, I think. And then I kind of measure the greenery to see if it's going to fit, and I definitely need to trim this down. So I'm just going in. Most of this is plastic. You can trim it easily. There's one strand of it that's kind of wire, so I had to kind of switch back and forth there with my scissors. But I thought I could kind of just put it down inside like that and stand it up in the sand. And then we can also, you know, we're going to have the lights to light it up as well. And so I'm going to go ahead and untape them now. We can start putting this together. This is really easy to do, and it looks completely different than the other ones that I've done before. I've made a gingerbread house one for Christmas. I've made Scandinavian ones for Christmas too that were really pretty. So we're just going to go ahead and unwind these lights. You don't get a lot of lights, but enough for a bottle this size. And then I'm going to start just putting those down inside the bottle. And then I can put my little tree down inside. Now I did that, and then I was like, you know what? I don't think it's quite thick enough. I think I actually need 2 branches to make it look thicker, to kind of make it more like a tree. So I'm going to go ahead and cut and trim down another one. And then I'm going to put them kind of together as one larger piece, and that definitely helped fill it up a little bit more. And then we can kind of scatter the lights out on each side. So I just kind of wired them to each other so I could kind of put them all in there together. It's a little tricky trying to get them to stand up in the sand exactly where you want, when you can really only access it from the top. But anytime you're going to add like something kind of squishy like greenery, you can definitely put it down inside the bottle. I used a skewer to help me kind of get it exactly where I wanted. And then I can finish putting in my little LED lights, kind of wrapping them around the sides and putting my white cork in the top of the bottle. It's looking super wintry. It's kind of like a snow globe too, because you can kind of shake it with the white sand in there. And then I decided I want a little snow on this one as well. I probably should have done this before I put it all together, but oh well. I'm going to take some more school glue, and I want to just put that along the sides, kind of dripping down into like little icicles to make it look extra frosty and wintry here at the top. A little bit lower in some areas than others, just to kind of make it look random. And then I can just put that down into the Epsom salt again, giving it a nice snowy touch on the top of the bottle as well. So we've got snow inside it, we've got the snowy tree, we've got snow on the bottle, and then we have the white cork. I thought about frosting this bottle with my frosting spray, but I wasn't sure if the lights would really light up through the frosting, but it's worth a try. I might have to try that on one of my other ones. So this is how it turned out. I think it's looking really cool. I went ahead and sprayed it with a little bit more of that spray adhesive to make that snow look extra crunchy there at the top and make sure that it's going to stay in place. And I love the little switch to turn the lights on and off is on the very back of that cork. And I'm kind of glad that I painted the cork because it made it blend in with the white snow that we added to the top. And then we have our little snowy tree inside, and we also have the lights. We have the white sand for snow as well. And this is how it looks all lit up. Isn't that so cozy and fun for winter? Now, the next DIY is the easiest thing ever. I picked up a white candlestick from the Dollar Tree, and they had these great flocked pine cones at the Dollar Tree as well. The flocking on these is wonderful, and it's a nice, really large pine cone, so I thought this would be perfect on display for winter. You're getting that same wood vibe from the pine cone, right? But then you have the white snow on it, you have the white candle holder, and I'm just going to kind of pair them together like that to make a beautiful snowy pine cone display. This had a pretty flat bottom, so I'm just going to go ahead and put some hot glue on that. Lay that up against the white candle holder and just hold that in place until my hot glue sets up. Not going to add anything else to this DIY. It was so easy to put together. My son said this was his favorite one. And I'm like, oh, thank you. That was easy. Thank you. But I agree. I think it looks really cool. And the flocking that they did on the pine cone was pretty impressive. But if you only had a plain one, like a big one like that, you could probably get away with epsom salt to kind of get a similar result, or just white paint. Isn't that so fun for winter and so simple to put together? Couldn't be any easier than that. 2 items from the Dollar Tree and a little hot glue. Okay, check out this candle that I got at the Dollar Tree. It is a snowflake like laying on its back. It's white, it's iridescent, it's absolutely beautiful. So I thought we could make a beautiful little candle, another winter candle for this using a couple items from the Dollar Tree. Check that out, isn't that so beautiful? I saw that and I knew I had to have it. So I wanted to kind of go with the wood slice effect on this one again. And so this is another one of the wood slice signs from the Dollar Tree from Crafter Square. This is kind of the round one, but it's kind of like an odd shape, which I kind of like. So I'm just going to carefully remove the hanger from that one. And then I want it to be up on a little pedestal tray. So I'm actually going to take one of these little glass candle holders from the Dollar Tree and that frosted glass spray that I got from Rust-Oleum. And I'm going to go outside and frost this to kind of give it that frosted look that we've been using today. And it was pretty easy to do. I did one coat and brought it right back in and given it a quick dry. And I have a beautiful like frosted base for this. I thought the contrast between the frosted glass base and the wood slice holder and then that iridescent white snowflake is all going to go really well together. It's also going to go really well with all the other DIYs that we made today. So again, I don't really want this to be that light wood color. So just like before with the other wood slice, I'm just using some antique wax by Waverly and a baby wipe just to make that warmer wood vibe on this for the base of my little candlestick. Gonna leave it raw on the other side where I'm gonna be attaching it to that candlestick. And then I also kind of want to make it a little snowy too. I know I frosted it, but I also thought we can kind of make it look snowy. And I'm going to kind of rim the bottom on this one just by using school glue around the edges, kind of spreading that out kind of randomly. And then we can dip that in the Epsom salt. It's going to add another little snowy touch to this project. I told you I loved the Epsom salt for snow. You can tell I really loved it because I used it on a ton of projects today. And that gave me a little snowy base, so not only is it frosted, it's snowy as well, which is going to add to the winter vibes on this little candle holder. And I wasn't sure if hot glue was going to be strong enough for this one, so I'm going to pop out some E6000 for this one and put it along the glass candlestick before I put the wood on there, and hopefully it's going to make this project a little stronger. So I just kind of center the wood slice on there, carefully flip that over. I kind of needed some short-term hold too until it dried, so I just went around with hot glue there on the outside and glued them together, and it definitely stayed together better that way. So we can flip it back over and we can decorate it. I did have a staple I was able to remove there. Again, you have to be really careful with those because it will split the bark sometimes. For a little added stability, I glue my candle down so it doesn't move around right there in the center. And then I want it to be frosty and snowy up here as well. So I thought in between the different arms of the snowflake, I would put a little bit more school glue and a little bit more Epsom salt and just kind of have a little bit of snow like the snowflakes kind of sitting in a pile of snow. Now, the Epsom salt can be a little messy. I used one of those little cutting boards from the Dollar Tree on all these today, and definitely helped make cleanup a little bit easier. Just kind of like working with sand. You're going to get it everywhere. And so I did that in between each little ray of the little snowflake. And it doesn't really have to be even. I kind of want it random. Kind of cleaning up some of the excess Epsom salt with a dry paintbrush. And look how pretty that candle is. And I think I made a really pretty candle holder to go with it and display it. Isn't that so cute? Definitely goes with our neutral winter vibe that we've been doing today. And a little remnant of snow up there on the candle holder. And then, of course, some snow along the base of the frosted candle holder. It's kind of hard to show you that and get it all in one picture. But I think the candle is the star of the show. Isn't that so pretty? It's so pretty I don't even want to burn it. But you know what? I will, just for you guys. We'll go ahead and light this up and show you how beautiful it looks lit up. Isn't that so cozy? I love a good winter candle. So pretty. I hope you enjoyed all 8 of the winter DIYs that we made today. I really had fun putting them together for you. You've made it into the final reveal. Don't forget to like this video, comment your favorite DIY below, or just come say Merry Christmas. And don't forget to subscribe. Okay, here it is, the final reveal. Enjoy and happy crafting.
A sunny day, but it's cold outside. It tingles in my heart. Breathing air that clears my mind. I'm off for a good start. I hear those jingle bells, people singing about love. It feels like I'm a kid, like I'm forever young. And that's why I want to sing about the Christmas on its way. A reason to hang around and celebrate this day. Everyone's smiling and it's snowing. It's the time of year again. I'm happy you're here, my winter wonderland. I'm walking around making small talk with people that pass me by. I share a laugh, it gives me joy that everyone's having a good time. I hear those jingle bells, people singing about love. Feels like I'm a kid, like I'm forever young. And that's why I want to sing about the Christmas on its way. A reason to hang around and celebrate this day. Everyone's smiling and it's snowing. It's the time of year again. I'm happy you're here, my winter wonderland. No, it's the time of year, winter wonderland. My winter wonderland. It's the time of year, my winter wonderland. My winter wonderland. I want to sing about the Christmas on its way. A reason to hang around and celebrate this day. Everyone's smiling and it's snowing. It's the time of year again. I'm happy you're here, my winter wonderland. Oh, my winter wonderland. Oh, my winter wonderland.
I want to thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of today's video. I also want to give a huge thank you to all of my Crafty Beach Bum members. I really appreciate you. I have 20 members, and I want to say thank you so much to Coastal Couple, Karen O'Haron, Pamela Bergeron, I Am Mojo Jojo, Melinda Elizabeth, Jamie Job, Susan Edmonds, Carrie R., Tracy Knight, Verna Noctegal, Nancy Warner, Julie Miller, Tammy Coates, Janae Farrington, Pamelia Wren, Whitney Harrison, Maria Grace, Butterfly Mama, Donna Schreiner, and Tina Kane. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. And thank you so much for supporting my channel. If you would like to become a Crafty Beach Bum member, it's super easy. All you have to do is hit the join button. It's $4.99 a month and you can cancel anytime. And you're going to get early ad-free access to my videos here on YouTube. Okay, if you would like more crafting DIY projects with Crafty Beach, YouTube thinks that you might like this video right here.